My people, it's your guy, the Nigerian Englishman, and we are back here on One Touch TV. And I don't care what anybody says, this is the biggest fixture. Arsenal versus Man U, the biggest fixture in Premier League history. The only difference is we're not fighting for titles like we were before, but we're fighting for bragging rights and banter and all the banter groups we have in our WhatsApp. And for this show, I've got a little bit of a different format. We've got a few Arsenal guys and we've got a few Man U guys, and we're going to bump heads and we're going to make it happen, guys. So without further ado, let me introduce the panel. So returning to the show, long-awaited return to One Touch TV. First of all, we've got Omondi Juma. How you doing, Omondi? You good?
I'm blessed. It's a pleasure to be on the One Touch TV, man. Love what you guys are doing. Let's go.
Always a pleasure to have you. Big up the Man United agenda as well. Also, my fellow Niger boy representing Tunnel TV, his debut. He's put on his boots for his debut on One Touch TV. We've got the wonderful Ade. How you doing, Ade?
Great. How are you?
Good. Welcome for your debut.
Ready,
all the fans are waiting to see if you're going to score a couple goals tonight. We'll see what your performance is saying, though, okay, if we'll invite you back or not. Also, returning back to the show, he looks a lot warmer than he did last night. Also representing Manchester United, Papachips. How you doing, Papa?
I'm blessed, bro.
Well
always
done,
good.
Well done.
Moani London.
All right. And alongside myself, representing the mighty Arsenal, our resident, always doing the Pidgin show on One Touch TV, Mr. Akpos. How you doing, Mr. Football and Pidgin? You good?
Well, I'm good, brother, and it's always exciting to be on One Touch TV. I think growing up as a Gunner fan, this is the game I always look up to when we play United, because I have siblings who are United fans. I have cousins who are United fans, because not like these new money football clubs that just came in a couple of years that begin to get football fans. But we know that the clubs who are top tier, it's just Manchester United, Liverpool, and Arsenal. Then the others. But I know that the modern day fans of those other clubs will not agree with me. So I think this is, like, I agree with what you said. I still feel like this is the biggest game for me, even though we are no longer up there competing for all of the titles and all the trophies anymore. So, but let's bring it on. I think it's going to be an excited show.
100%. First of all, I've got my son happens to be. I had a son over this YouTube situation. I've adopted a son. I'm not sure who he is yet, but he's always in the comments. Big up my son. I'm going to call him Tunde for now. Big up Nigerian Englishman son in the comment section saying, hi, Dad. Big you up, mate. All right, so obviously, Akpos, we've got some guests on our channel, so it might as well let the guests
let them go first.
So returning to the show, on Monday, obviously you guys you sacked our man Oli, the guy manager of the year for me, to be honest. Like, he made United games more exciting than ever before. But things are changing. Let's start with the Chelsea game. Did you see enough from that game to get you excited that you can get a W in this game this week?
I'm super confident we're going to win this game. Standard. We've seen a change. I don't know if you noticed a couple of weeks ago in the Premiership fixture list, the two new managers from Norwich and Villa, they got wins. So there's obviously an effect that you have when you have a new manager and a change at a club. And we're experiencing that right now. I mean, the form under Oli was terrible. We didn't have any sort of game plan, any philosophy of play. It was really difficult to see where we were going to go forward with that, you know. And finally, they made a decision, and I think they've made the right decision for the club. We brought in a guy who's had various roles and been a master of it. And I keep saying this, repeating it show after show. He's like a sensei in the dojo, and people go to him. You know, it's like going to the Shaolin monk. They travel to him, like Klopp will travel up all that way and learn the trade and go off as one of his disciples and show the world, you know, I'm representing for my master's style, you know, like Kung Fu film. I am representing that style, and it hasn't been counted yet. So finally, imagine. So Thomas Tuchel's got that style. Klopp's got the style. The Bayern Munich manager. You know, everyone's gone up there, learnt their trade, learnt from the master. There's little secrets of the style and tweaked it to their own little thing, and they've been successful. But finally, the master's coming down from the mountain, He's been called. We sent out the request, and we called him out, and we said, "Come to us, the biggest club in the land, probably in the world," and he's going to come and perform miracles. Overnight already.
Okay.
Your question. Sorry, let me think. You asked me about it. Are we going to get the W? This is why I'm so confident we get the W. I'm sure you guys, Ade, Papachips, we've been doing our research. We knew a little bit about him, but since I've been digging deeper and deeper and reading his Bible, everything else of how his philosophy and his style, and reading how convicted he is, it's a trademark. He's got his own trademark style. Do you know what I'm saying? So for him to bring that, and in the role as coach or manager, which is probably his best role. I know he's been director of football with girls, but as Klopp even said, that's his best role as coach. I think he's going to implement something really special throughout the club, and it's exactly what we needed after coming from this Ollie era where our performances were terrible and we had no sort of direction. He's going to be assertive, as proved, as we saw with Chelsea and Villarreal results. We're already seeing his style being implemented. I know that Michael Carrick has sent him his drills, said, "I want this performed in training." You can see it. I don't know if you guys do agree with me. I can see it already.
Trust me.
Look, Omondi is gassed up, bro. Man had a couple Red Bulls before the show, and he's done excited. All right, good. And he talked about something specific in that little monologue that he went into there about Ragnarok or whatever his name is, Ragnarsson. I don't really know his name.
You will know his name. You will know his name.
So he's come like the Mr. Miyagi to the Daniel sons in the Premier League. Right? He's the old guy at the top. Yeah. One thing I will say is, although I have been impressed with the stuff that he's done at his previous clubs, this is gonna, and Ade, I want you to take this one. This is gonna be his first test as a quote unquote major club. It's all right doing it at these like RB, Red Bull, and Leipzig, and all these places, and Hoffenheim, where there's no pressure, not dealing with players with big egos. Man United, as Omondi said, one of the biggest, if not the biggest organization in football today. That's different level of pressure. Do you think he's the man that can deal with that pressure, Ade?
I think he can. I'm not as excited as my brother Omondi.
Good. Someone with some sense here. Oh yeah, land.
Well, it's not. Everybody, we're all important. He's an optimist. I'm in the middle. I'm sure Papachips is going to go the other end of the spectrum. At least we should take that role. We're a team, so we have to play offense, defense, and midfield.
Okay, I'm getting you.
I'm excited. I'm very, very excited because United has been behind when it comes to football structure. We're basically the last top club that has entered the new era of football management. I'm talking about from the top down. I think it was just this season that we appointed the football director. So it's going to take a while for those things to start to gel. I am excited about Rangnick because he has the fundamentals and he has a lot of acolytes. I think you mentioned it. I'm not sure who touched on it, but we have big egos at United. In fact, we have players that have big egos that really don't pull their weight on the field, And my experience watching United back from the 80s was we rarely had stars. We had maybe one or two stars, and everybody else worked to prop up those stars. So you had somebody like Cantona, could do anything he wanted, but everybody else kind of shored up the team. So United has never really had major stars. I think we have too many right now. And when I say too many stars, I'm not even talking about performances. I'm talking about people that feel they are stars in their own heads and don't really pull their weight. Now,
yes.
When you look at, somewhere like a Liverpool, I hate to mention that I hate them, just to let you know, but I'm going to use them as an example.
Okay. I'm not mad at you.
You see top players like Salah and Mane still running around, putting themselves about. I think we don't have that with some of the players at United. They feel that they've made it and they haven't really done anything. They haven't really won anything. In fact, the person who has won stuff is the one who runs around and competes. Well, he was on the bench the last game, but even when he's on the field, he runs around and he has a work rate. But because we didn't have the right coaching, he was just running around, you know,
Okay.
spinning his wheels. So
So
I think I'm not. I'm optimistic. It's going to be positive. I know that going forward, I just don't think it's going to happen as quickly. There'll still be some playing through the pain barrier.
okay. I like that. A little bit more of a calm approach to this. But Akpos, before we bring in Papachips, Akpos, I mean, you just like me, you watched the Chelsea game on the weekend. I'm sure, just like me, you were hoping, man, you took a proper hiding, because I remember after the Villarreal game, everything that I was expected to happen happened on social media. Everyone's like, "We're back. We should have got Oli out earlier." Da, 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 da. I was hoping that Chelsea would humble them. But even though it was 0-0, did you see enough in United's style of play to worry you, make you think
1-1.
differently?
One,
Sorry,
one,
1-1. Sorry, 1-1.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
I think they had the new manager bans for me firstly because when a new manager comes in, every other player, everybody wants to impress because you want to start that new slate with a new manager, telling the manager, okay, this is what I can do. Am I willing to work for the team and all of that? But going into that game, I don't know. Somehow I had the feeling that United has got a slim chance to get a result out of the game, and with what they played on the pitch, I feel like their team they are looking more like a unit because they worked hard. They did not see much of the ball. Chelsea had more of the ball, but I think like there's still a lot more work that needs to be done. Uncle Omondi rightly said that Ragnick coming is going to be sorry before I say Ragnick coming is going to be
sorry.
it's
Put
going to
some
be
respect in the name, bro.
it's going to be a good one for me for them, and that's something I've always said when I have this interaction with United fans. I'm like, you don't just need a new manager to come in. You need a structure behind the manager, and for me, I think like that's what United is going to benefit from is know-how in terms of the modern game. I think it's somebody like Uncle Omondi said, if we want to bring it back to let's say in the Alaba market way now, you know those Igbo men, the way they don't do business for years.
Yeah.
We go bring boys from, you understand? They don't carry many boys from our village. You they get teach them
I
business.
get
That's more like where I see him in terms of what he has done, in terms of with the German coaches and all of that. So for me, I think Manchester United are going to benefit from his know-how in terms of the structure and all of that. It will set up the place for the next manager that will be able to come in to have a conducive environment to excel. But I don't think that it's going to the success is going to come now. United fans every United fan I've talked to recently, I'm like, guy, lower your expectation first because you understand being an Arsenal fan, I think we've been more used to our club not being up there. But a lot of United fans, sometimes when they talk this, they are like, we are Manchester United. We are Manchester
They think
United.
it's Fergie time. They think
You
it's
understand? It's
Fergie
no
era,
longer
man.
Peggy time. The game is
Fergie don't
evolving.
leave, bro.
You
Don't
get the
leave
game is
well.
evolving, so they need to evolve with it. They need to lower their expectation and all of that. It's going to take time. I don't feel like it's going to come in to work miracle, but it's going to be a gradual process. But at the end of the day, if United are able to bring in more people like him who understand the modern day game, I think on the long run it's going to be a success story for them if they can.
Okay. So just like my son said this comment, Ragnick buys players for cheap, makes them class, and sells them for high amounts. And I think that's not going to be the style that it's going to be at Man United, because he's going to have money, which is going to be different to what he's had. And I believe the biggest benefit Man U are going to have from him there is next season when he's upstairs. Personally, that's what I think. But what I would say about Sunday's game is I don't believe Man U style of play. No, Sunday's game that just went.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
Sunday's game. I don't believe that it was because of anything Man U did that the draw came about. I honestly think that Chelsea were very wasteful in that first half, and if they'd taken a couple of their chances, I could have seen it being 3 or 4-0. Man, you got a little gift in the second half. People are like, oh, the high press, Rashford and Sancho. Shut up, man. It had nothing to do with that high press. A mistake was made. That's it. And you lot bounced on a mistake. That game could have easily ended 3-0 to Chelsea. Papachips, you watched that game on Sunday. I know you were doing a knee slide when Sancho scored that little snatch and grab goal. So, like, even though Amondi mentioned about the new manager bounce, I mean, Eddie Howe's been at Newcastle a couple of weeks. They're still yet to win a game. So could that same thing happen to Ragnarok? Ragnick, sorry.
It's Ragnick, please. I need to correct you, Arsenal fans.
No problem.
I know he's not earned the respect yet, but I think the respect is going to come. That's the honest truth, to be honest. The game on Sunday, when Sancho scored, I will not lie to you, I wasn't really excited just yet because of what's been happening.
It was against the run of play as well.
We keep conceding goals. So when I saw we were 1-0 up, I was like, we're going to concede again. So I'm just hoping Ragnick coming on will help tighten up the defense. I don't know if you understand me, and still keep the same team for the Arsenal game, if you were to ask me. But yeah, new manager bounce. Carrick was on the same team, was he not? If I'm not mistaken. So what's the new manager? What new manager bounce? Was his mouth?
They've given him the journal now, the journal to use.
What journal?
The one that has the one from Germany.
It was the same coach.
They sent it by email.
Was he not the first team coach? Does he not handle the same players, or are they new players? It's the same. The whole team, if you were to ask me, should have been sacked. Everybody should have gone. Ragnick, but I heard Ragnick is also bringing his own team to blend with that team. Yeah, please, they should not mix good and bad, Joe. Please, just give me clean Manchester United high press.
Wanted to clear everything.
Let the whole team, let them just go. Everybody, if you don't want to stay, please out the door. Paul Pogba, no pun intended. But listen, Ragnick coming in with what I've heard, I know he's not won anything. I think he's won one trophy, the Bundesliga FA Cup.
So why is everyone getting so excited then? I don't understand.
They're getting excited because of what he brings, the structure, the knowledge. He's 40 years in. His knowledge is 40 years in. You don't just get that from sitting around. And players he's worked with, teams he's brought up. He's actually not been given a big job ever. Why is that though? Why has he not been given a big job up until now? I heard that his playing style was not what was on ground then. Do you understand me? So that's why people like Klopp had to come to the Premier League. When Paul Klopp was at Dortmund, he was still playing the same football, but there was no hype. But he's now brought into Liverpool, there's a hype. So there is market for his expertise here in England. That's why he's coming on. And to be honest, him going upstairs in 6 months, he should stay longer. Build the team properly and then move on upstairs. I don't mind that, but going back to why people are gassed about him is what he's done, bringing people like Hoffenheim through, bringing third team German divisions to the first team. That's on his own is a win, if I'm asked, to be honest, because they gave him a job, they gave him an assignment, and he did that, and he picked up new team and then brought players to people like Sadio Mane. Where did he come from? Who noticed him? Ragnick. Come on, boys. Okay. Let's put some respect.
And to go back to what Omondi was saying in terms of him being like the Baba at the top for the two shows, the Klopps and all those type of guys. We've seen it. We have another Baba in the Premier League. What's his name? Bielsa. Yeah. And like he's at Leeds where his proteges are being in Champions League finals, winning leagues, all these different things. So it could be the exact same thing. You could end up being a mid-table team with him at the wheel.
The stats begs to differ, my brother. It begs to differ. It's not possible.
Okay, interesting.
The team, if I'm not lying to you, even when Oli was sacked, Marcelo Bielsa came into my head as well. I'm not going to lie to you, but the language barrier is my biggest problem for him, and the fact that he doesn't even want to listen, he doesn't even want to learn English. Apparently, he can speak but doesn't want to speak. So I can bet you that affects his training. I bet you 100%. Leeds, people say Leeds are not playing right now because their players are injured. Please, those players, they're not professional players.
To be honest, I think the Leeds thing is kind of similar to what's going on at Southampton. I don't think the Southampton coach is bad. I just think he's got the max out of those players. And they either need to freshen up or give him something new to do. Probably.
So if Bielsa now, I would have loved him to come to Manchester United.
Interesting. I don't know if anyone in the comment section would like to. If Bielsa learns how to speak English before the end of the season, maybe he can come and take the wheel for next season for Man United. Let me know in the comment section
let them run. They need to run.
But what I would say is, even though up until maybe 2 years ago, whenever I saw this fixture, I did Yeah, let me not lie to you. I started to shake, man. Because there was a stage, Akpos will probably be able to relate. There was a stage where no matter what team you lot played, the good team, bad team, youth players, we had a complex against Manchester United. Like the game where Rashford scored 2, we should never have lost that game. I remember there was one game where Danny Welbeck scored a winner at the Emirates. It was all going wrong. I didn't know what was going on. We had a serious complex. But since Arteta don't land at the Emirates, man, you get complex for Arsenal. You've not beaten us for 3 years. That's crazy. 3 years United have not beat Arsenal. But I'm not much of a stats man, so I'm not going to go into this stat situation because a stat I saw today was that we've never gone 4 games unbeaten at Old Trafford. And this game on Thursday would be the 4th. So
The fourth one. Yeah.
Right, so I don't really want to get too caught up in the stats, but we've just talked about United and their chances. At the start of the season, nobody expected the table to look like this, where Arsenal was ahead of Man U. After the first 2 games of the season, a couple of people in this panel, I'm not going to name any names, but you know who you are, were saying a lot of abuse about Arsenal, Ben Shite, waste of money, all this stuff, mid-table team, maybe Arsenal are going to get relegated, all that stuff. And then Arsenal just quietly were going about their business. We beat Burnley. They were like, it's only Burnley. They beat Norwich. It's only Norwich. We beat Tottenham. To be fair, it is only Tottenham, so I can give them that one. We beat Leicester. Everyone thought we'd have a hangover after Anfield getting destroyed by Liverpool. But we bounced back with a 2-0, definitely a convincing second half display more than the first half. So, Akpos, what do you think of the job Arteta's done since the first 3 games that we lost? Sorry.
Yeah, looking at how bad and how poorly we started the season, man. I want to big up Mikel Arteta firstly for the work that he has done, because I felt like, and I want to say something about the players. I felt like our players have been very professional, because if some other managers were in the same situation, some of those players would have easily down their tools, and the manager we end up getting sacked. But because it was that bad, starting the season that very poor. I've not seen Arsenal starting the season that poor before. So
right.
for how bad we started the season, I want to big him up with how he has turned the results, turn the sides of the result, the sides of the coin. Because looking at how we started the season very poor, we went into the game. I think Burnley got 1-0, Norwich got 1-0. Everybody was saying it was just Burnley, was just Norwich, and in 11 games now, we've only lost 1, which was against Liverpool. So firstly, I think he needs to take his credit on that one, because I feel like the signings he has made are signings that lead players that are little known to other people. When Tomiyasu came in on the last day of the transfer, a lot of people said that was a panic buy. That was a panic transfer, because this was the player.
They all had something to say about Tommy, didn't they? They all had something.
You understand? That was the player who was linked with going to Spurs all of the transfer window, most of the transfer window, and ended up on the last day, because I listened to one of the commentators on Sky Sport or so saying that this player was being put on the table for any club, shopped around for anybody to come by. But this guy has come into the team and he has put in a decent performance. I think in the last game, people have been saying, I've been giving him credit for all of his defensive duty. We've seen a new dimension of this player now in the last game. He had 2 passes that were vital. The one that leading to the goal with Martinelli, and he did another one, I think, for a tackle on one of our offensive player, but was not giving us a penalty. So these players that Mikel Arteta has brought in, young players, I feel like he has brought in young players who can play in the style he wants to play. You understand? These are players who are developing over time. They will still need to develop, get more familiarized with the Premier League and playing at the top level. But a player like Nuno Tavares, he made mistakes in the game against Anfield. And one thing I want to commend Mikel Arteta for is his confidence in these players. Another manager would have easily dropped him going into the next game.
And I'll put up my hand. I'll put up my hand. I was asking for him to maybe drop him as well. So
okay, but I think Mikel Arteta looked at the bright side that if I drop this guy now, I would be bringing his confidence down. One thing I think that these players needs to excel as an athlete is the fact that you feel like this manager or the coach trusts me. I feel like these players, they are feeling like they trust him. Definitely, if you say play this way, they want to do it. So when you feel the trust of the backing of the manager, I think like these players now, the crops of players that he has, will more likely to say these are more Mikel Arteta players. So, and they can play in the style. We've seen that last season when we were playing with Leno. I'm not trying to discredit Leno for all of the good that he has done for the football club, but we had this difficulty passing away from the back. But Mikel Arteta is somebody who's stubborn, who still kept the same pattern, the same style of play. But since Aaron Ramsdale has come into the goal, we've been seeing difference. We've been seeing that our pattern of kicking the ball out of the defense has been a lot more better. So in terms of how well this team has performed more, I feel like Mikel Arteta has got his players, more of his players, people he can trust to play in a style, mode of football, the kind of football that he wants to play more in that team. I still think that the work is not yet done. There are still areas where we need to invest more, where we still need to bring in more experience to have the perfect blend between the youth, the talent, and the experience. That's what I think. Like there's still going to be more work to be done in the next couple of transfers for us to at least go back to being challenging for the title and all of the trophies.
For sure, and I believe I second that notion. I wouldn't say I'm Arteta's biggest fan, but I remember having a conversation with Akpos at the start of the season. I said to him that as soon as this window closes and our season starts, I'm Arteta in. Not because I necessarily believe he's the guy for the job, but because it's for my mental health. It's a lot easier for just to accept this guy is going to be here till May. Just calm down with all that in and out till May. Give him the year. Then you lot can ask me the question, is he the right man again in May? And again, I like the fact that we're just quietly going about our business, not making too much noise with our little wins here and there. And I just want to keep like that. I don't want people to keep asking me, where do you think Arsenal are going to finish? Can they get into the top? I don't want to hear any of that one. All I want to know is, can we win our next 90 minutes? That's all I care about. And talking about the next 90 minutes for both clubs, it's against each other. It's like the theatre of nightmares or the theatre of screams or whatever they've nicknamed it this season, because a lot of craziness has gone on there this year. But Omondi, are you one of the people that is wants to see us?
I think we lost him there.
What do you think he was going to say? Do I want to see you fail or drop off again like you did last season? Well, sorry, Kunle, we missed that the last 5-10 seconds.
Sorry, I was like, do you want CR7 to start this Thursday? You want him back in the side?
All right, let's put it this way. I can't answer that question. What we're seeing now, I want to see Ralph's philosophy start to come through as we have done the last couple of games. So whether that means Ronaldo plays or not, I don't know. I'm not a master. I'm only a student trying to learn, like all of us, on his style.
Don't play politics here, Omondi.
I have to, I'm afraid. I'm going to have to say. But you have to ask yourself, does he have the qualities to fit in that sort of the front two, like Sancho and Rashford? Can he press? Can he do all the work that's required? And tactically, yes. I think IQ-wise, he fits into the side, no problem. Understanding what's required of him, that's no problem for him. He's probably the most experienced footballer on the planet right now, you know? So I don't have an issue with there. Like with Donny van der Beek. People think Donny van der Beek is not fast or can maybe not do the pressing. Everyone thinks pressing has to be, you have to be quick, you have to be fit. It's about, most of these guys are standing around half the game. If you watch football properly, most of these guys are standing around. It's not about that. But Matic is a baller, a high IQ. He can do the job. But people think, we need to have McTominay running, and that's a good example of someone performing well. No, if you use your brain, you've got experience and intelligence. When your fitness level, and your IQ start to match up, you can still perform, appropriately and even better than you did as a youngster. Look at Rashford, for example. Bundles of energy, but just runs into traffic and just does things stupidly. So it's about getting that balance between IQ and your fitness or your energy, that kind of thing. So to answer your question, I think Ronaldo can fit into any side in the world, and if he's not fitting into the side, then the manager needs to find a way to fit him in because of his ability to score goals in the 6-yard area and think that's vital, and goals can win matches, as you will find out on Thursday night.
Amondi, we need to bring you to Nigeria politics, though. See, politician. But what I will say, Ade, I want you to maybe go into this. I would say this. You guys went to Stamford Bridge with that setup. You're going to Old Trafford. It's your backyard. You can't play that negative of tactics with a false nine at home. Surely you can't play those 3 defensive midfielders like you played at Stamford Bridge. Surely
It
not.
wasn't.
What do you think?
But
He doesn't know. He doesn't know the Ranrick. Hold on a minute.
No, wait,
He doesn't
wait,
know the
hold on,
Ranrick
hold on.
style. Just by that
Hold on.
question alone, it demonstrates you don't know the Ranrick style. That's how it looked on paper to the average fan. But once you see, if you study Man United, as all of us guys have, you will know there's no 3 defensive midfielders. Fred was playing as one of the 2 midfielders behind the guy. But anyway, Addy will explain that.
Okay. So, yeah, Addy, you come in and respond because I still is Fred an attacking threat? He's more of a defensive threat, if anything. But
Fred
Addy,
is
you go.
okay. Sorry.
Fred is not a defensive. He defends high up and wins balls higher up. Matic was sitting deep, so I saw it sort of like an offensive line in American football, where McTominay and Fred were ahead of Matic because Matic isn't very quick, but now when I say he's not very quick, I'm saying he's not very quick physically, but like Omondi, he was saying some stuff and I was just nodding my head. My head almost fell off, in fact. He's one of those players that has speed of thought. So he doesn't run around, but as the game is developing, he's moving, and gets in the right positions. We don't have enough of those players. I like Fred. I like McTominay, their industry. Ole said something about legs, and a few weeks ago I laughed. But they don't have the cerebral part of the game. If you are the modern game, if you run around like a Man City, when we saw that Man City game, they were just passing the ball around. It was terrible to watch. I mean, I was depressed on that day. It was that
It
game.
was a training.
That game was worse,
4 or 5,
worse than the Liverpool game. It was worse.
Yeah.
They just passed the ball. It was terrible. I felt sorry for Ronaldo. So, like Omondi mentioned, he made some very salient points. We need players with speed of thought. We need to take care of the ball. We're not a possession team, but come on, 20%, 27% is not good enough. You have to be the high 40s.
For Manchester United.
For Manchester United, even if you're not a possession team. So we played a little deeper because we had a new defender in there who was a little rusty, but we did try to start quick attacks. And that goal that we scored was not a fluke. It was actually Bruno hooping the ball up and putting pressure on the last man. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, but it worked in that particular instance. And I think it wasn't the prettiest football, but I could see some tactics at play there.
Okay. So, Akpos, just so you know, we're dealing with politicians here. No one going to answer my question direct. So, before we go into the rest of the show, I'm just going to read out some of the comments. Barbados MEFC, where's Canary? I'm assuming you're referring to Canners. Don't worry, Canners is on the show. I think he's on the show I'm on later on the Armory TV. Tomiyasu, the Japanese Reece James, I'll give you that. When Tomiyasu rejected Spurs and joined a proper London club.
But I beg to differ. Why are people surprised about Tomiyasu? Tomiyasu in the Italian league was crazy. Arsenal have a player.
Unlike me and you, not everyone watches Serie A, man. They don't respect the league.
I'll keep quiet. I'll keep quiet.
Once we get service to CR, Ben White is history. Let's see if CR's even going to be playing. Gabriel, son, I'm not even going to read this out, bro. You're talking some wild comments, man. I'm going to have to discipline you later. They're saying, and I heard this too, Ralph won't be in charge, Carrick will be in charge. I'm hearing that. This new manager bounced, but you guys, he's going to be sending some Bluetooth messages to Carrick, so maybe some things.
To be honest, I don't think he would. I don't think he would. It'll be Carrick that will do his thing.
We'll see. I saw Fletcher with a headpiece at Chelsea, so they say that he was communicating. Ragnick was communicating through Fletcher during the game. Big up Aiden Hall's first time watching the show. I think that's the first time I've seen the name on the show. Shine, hello from Colorado. Big up the people in the States. Thanks for logging in. Feed the goat and he will score.
I agreed.
I guess they're talking about CR7.
But will he start? They're talking about CR7.
Fight. Yeah, we're definitely not keeping it clean on the show, Aiden Hall. It's always a fight when it comes to Man U and Arsenal. I don't even know if I can read this. Put some respect on Fred Gadavis.
Hey guys, listen.
Fred
See, hold
Gadavis.
on.
Mind your mouth,
Hold on.
big man.
Kule,
Mind your mouth.
hold on. See this, Fred. Yeah, Fred has been impressing me in the last 3 weeks. I've seen a different Fred because I saw Fred playing against Argentina, and I looked back. I was like, "Whoa, is this Fred?" Fred is not defensive midfielder in any way. Fred is an outright center midfield player.
Yeah, box.
He wins the ball. He pushes. He's one person I know that does. He might not be there, but he gives his heart. He keeps running. He doesn't stop. So saying that we didn't play 3 center backs, 3 defensive midfielders against Chelsea. We played 2 actually because Tomlin was sitting in sometimes, and then Matic would sit down sometimes to add to cover up the pressure. That was just the tactics that was put in. But Fred, the engine on that guy, Fred Gadavis, I agree.
Look, people are praising Fred now. I love this. I'm loving this energy. Guys, I'm telling you this. If you guys play with the negative tactics on Thursday,
but there were no negative tactics. It wasn't negative tactics. That was the tactics that was meant to go. Chelsea are a very dangerous team. You just have to chase them down. In fact, I'm not like you. We ran so much. I was impressed. I saw them pressing high. I'm, chasing them. They were chasing them down. 2 weeks ago, nobody was chasing anybody.
But just so you know, that goal you scored against Chelsea, you're not scoring against Arsenal because we leave Tavares.
Let's hope the floodlights doesn't affect.
For pace like that.
Apparently, the floodlights affected his eyesight. Please, he miscontrolled.
Did someone really say that?
Yeah, I think that's what his manager said, that they should look at the floodlights. The floodlight that made him the mistake. I was like, what? I was like, the whole front lights is what everybody's using to play, my friend. He missed. He tried to control the ball. I did not, and his touch was shocking. And then the high press from United, because you could see Sancho and Rashford chased him straight away. That's the pressure I want.
They're not doing that to the Tavares. Let's just say that they ain't doing that.
If Tavares slips, they're going to punish him. Sorry.
Big up Red United TV. I know. All this hype around this game. Whenever there's a bit of hype around this game, it always ends up in a draw. I hope that's not what happens on Thursday night, but we'll see. But obviously, I wanted us to get into lineups on this show as well, guys. I want you, the United 3 of Omondi, Ade, and Papachips, to come up with who you'd like to start as your starting 11. Obviously, I guess De Gea is a given, but the defense, the midfield, the attack between you three.
No offense, he's meant to be our floor captain.
Okay, let's decide.
Don't disrespect Captain Maguire is back.
As in, thank you.
Captain Maguire is walking into that team. Don't disrespect him. Papa, I will not take any disrespect from Captain Maguire's name on the show.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold yourself. Respect yourself.
Why are you trying to mention that selection? Leave us.
Oh yeah, go on. Give us your selection.
Gentlemen, let's agree first of all on formation. 4-3-3, 4-4-3.
Yeah, exactly.
Same formation as Chelsea. Bring it on.
What, 4-3-3?
Yeah.
Okay.
It changes, doesn't it? So,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're saying four centre midfielders.
Okay. So let's start with goalkeeper. Who do we?
Who? David De Gea. There's not an argument.
Okay.
On form.
I personally think De Gea has been at fault for our The reason we've been conceding so many goals is De Gea's got to take some responsibility for that. He's not vocal enough, doesn't control his 6-yard box, doesn't come out. They had 32 crosses against us the other day. Not one did he come out and claim. So De Gea has to take some responsibility. It's all right taking pictures of his shot stopping, for the cameras, but that's not good enough. We need more from that. So when we're talking about Harry Maguire, and the disrespect that we're hearing on this channel and in general, it's not just Harry Maguire. So you need someone behind you who's vocal, who can give you instructions and things. When with Liverpool, Man City, look at Man City goal. The second goal was Silva. Where was the instruction coming from? So it's really important. De Gea. It's all right saying, he played fantastic, all the kind of thing. He's a part of the defense. He's the man. He can see the whole pitch. So he should be talking more. He's mute. He's mute. He's not saying anything. So I would put De Gea in for now, but I still think that Henderson's got a shout and get into the team just based on his vocals and his distribution. Look at Ramsdale. Fantastic goalkeeper.
Fantastic.
Still don't agree.
So,
De Gea.
De Gea is in goal. Okay, so what's your...
So right back, Dalot?
No. Wan-Bissaka starts all the time. Even though, to be honest, I actually don't think he's a right back, if you ask me.
Okay.
I've tried to study Aaron Bissaka. Bissaka will be a 6 centre back. If actually played in the back three, he would impress.
He doesn't have special
Yeah,
awareness.
it would.
Thank you, Adi.
I agree with Papa on that.
He
You
doesn't.
understand?
He
He doesn't
gets
deliver as a right back. He doesn't
caught
deliver.
out on the back post a lot. He doesn't
Yeah.
have the special awareness.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so,
Not just that. I don't think he can manage centre back reading the game. Do you ever see him talking, controlling the centre back?
Would you want him
led?
right back long term? He doesn't deliver anything from right back at all.
But
No
don't you think we need to work on
nothing.
right? Look at his strengths at right back, and then look at his weaknesses. If he works at his weaknesses, which we've been encouraging him to do, become more like Dalot or more like Trent, give you more as a modern fullback, then we will have a good player there. So I think we need to keep developing him, try and develop him as a better player in those higher areas.
United now. How many years has he
They're
been
coming
United
for you
now?
in the comments, man.
But
Said
anyways, don't
that.
worry.
You know, I said that
looking like that.
tongue in cheek. I said it as a joke. So
No, Dalot is a good player. I'm
He is a
guarantee
good player.
we'll start seeing Dalot playing a lot more. He deserves that run. It's just that people haven't seen enough of him to demonstrate that he's such a good player. He will offer us so much.
Yeah.
Okay. So our central defense,
left back and go.
okay, let's start with left back. Left back.
Still, Alex Telles, I believe Luke Shaw is still. If Luke Shaw doesn't have his concussion has cleared, then it should be fine.
Well, so Maguire is available now. So
He doesn't.
Maguire's in. Maguire's in, guys.
okay.
Captain Maguire. Captain Maguire.
Look at that.
What is this? Is this what we think is going to happen, or what we want to happen?
What we want. What you want.
What
to
we
happen,
want.
what you
Right,
want.
Maguire. I want Maguire in.
Okay, we'll take Maguire.
Yeah, I'm with
Go
that
on
one.
then.
No, but
Maguire.
if you've got an
I will
argument,
take him too. I
state
will take him too, Papa.
the case.
Yeah,
This
put him
argument
in.
can-
Let him because
This
obviously
argument can
I
take a
like.
whole other show. So let's just
I
do
like
Maguire.
a partnership. Do you understand me? And Maguire and Lindelof have a partnership, so stick him in. Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Just hypothetically, if Varane was available, would he have a shout or no?
Yeah. Varane, Maguire.
Of course,
straight
if
away.
we'd walk into any team, man. So
All
your
right,
midfield.
All right, midfield.
Still have the same midfield as last week. But there was no Bruno. But Bruno, yeah, the same midfield. The same midfield.
I don't
again.
understand. So what midfield? I would take Scott out.
Fred
Put,
Matic and Fred Matic and Van der Beek. Oh, sorry, yeah, Van der
Van
Beek.
de Beek. I'll take McTominay. What do you think, Omondi?
Yeah, I'm a Donny Van der Beek fan. I think he
What,
plays a
man
6
of
or
the
8
match,
easily.
McTominay?
Yeah,
McTominay.
Scott comes in.
I would drop. Yeah, I agree with you, Ade. I would put Donny Van der Beek in for McTominay and have the same as we had. So whether it's a free Matic, Fred, and Donny Van der Beek, I would go with that, and with Bruno in that. Whether it's a 4-2-2, 2-2, or a 4-3-3, whatever. Those are the players that I would like to see in there.
Okay. What about the front line?
So wait, so in your midfield, you guys say you want Van der Beek, Fred, Matic, and Bruno. That's your midfield 4, yeah?
So we'll have 2 now going up front. So it has to be a front.
That's fine.
Okay. So who's your 2 strikers then? Or your two
Rashford.
Based on who's fit and who can play tomorrow in a few hours, in a couple of days. I would personally, I would go with Ronaldo and Sancho. Oh, sorry. Forgive me. This is a tough one. I would go for Rashford and Ronaldo. Forgive me, yeah. Because I think as we saw with Red Bull, he's got Poulsen, who's sort of a target man, and he had a runner in Werner, which was really effective. Someone to press. So if we say Ronaldo can't press, then I think Rashford could, with that electric pace, scary pace, which will force defenses back, just based, they won't play high with him around. Arsenal shouldn't anyway. And I think those 2 would work well together, just to give it a try. But we've got options on the bench. It's a squad game, so we can always chop and change. But I don't know. I want to know what you guys think.
I mean, I would go Sancho. I would go same formation. I'll go Sancho, Rashford. It's the same team should just start again if you ask me. Same team.
Okay.
What? Okay. Drop the goat at Old Trafford.
Yeah, because listen.
Oh my God! Hear what they're saying, Akpos. Disrespect of the goat.
And Bonucci said something. Bonucci said Ronaldo should have left Juve a lot earlier because the players get confused. Like right now, Juve are going through it. They're lost. I don't want these players to be lost.
That's not because of Ronaldo. That's because of Pirlo.
Because of him. It's not as if he's a wonderful player, but the team right now, they're going to base the team around him. He's 37 years old. He should be more like, he should be a father figure. Do you understand me? That's what I expect from Ronaldo.
Now, I agree. To be honest, he shouldn't be playing 38 out of 38 games in the Premier League.
Not giving us attitude when you don't start a game. Did you see his face on the bench? I'm like, boss,
bro, he's the freaking GOAT. Why is he not going to look like that? He's supposed to smile. Is Ronaldo supposed to smile on the bench? Papa,
let his children play. Do you understand?
Let children.
Nah, but if you guys are playing,
on the bench,
I'm pretty sure.
Are you saying he's too big for being on the bench?
No, I'm pretty sure if you lot were playing Norwich or Newcastle, he wouldn't have been too upset being on the bench. It's a big game. He wants to be involved in the big games, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? But let's hear what the comment section was saying. So, my son, I'm not even reading it. But Maguire in general, just no from Red United TV. Donny van der Beckham, Fred Davids, and Bruno Midfield. I would drop McMayo for Donny, okay? Front line, ESR. I think you're doing a joint 11 there, son. I've misunderstood the goal here. Sorry, McMayo light. Wow, he's not got no time for McTominay. I thought he was called McSauce. Front three of Sancho, Jaden,
Cristiano Ronaldo,
CR, and Rashford. Okay,
I'll take that.
All right. Well, Akpos, let's go into ours. To be honest, I'm pretty. I want to start. Okay, let's start from the back. So obviously, big man like Ramsdale in goal. Best signing of the season so far.
Impressing me highly.
Right back, Tomiyasu. Centre back partnership of Gabriel and
Ben White.
What's it called? Ben White. Left back. Who you got left back?
Tavares too.
For me, definitely, I want to stick with Tavares going into that game. Yeah.
I'm not 100% because although he played well, it's still at Old Trafford, man. But I don't mind. I wouldn't be upset if he started. I wouldn't mind.
Who's the other option for left back? Who's the other option?
How dare you ask such a question, Addy? How dare you ask such a question? How dare you?
10 is there.
In the middle of the park, I definitely want Lokonga and Partey. I know Partey gives Papachips nightmares, obviously. So he's hopefully
anytime bring my brother along.
Take over.
I think we've lost them there, but it was saying about the midfield, a partnership of Sambi Lokonga and Thomas Partey. I feel like that's what Mikel Arteta is going to stick with. We've seen him play that partnership a good number of games this season, and I think like as a partnership that is growing. I'm talking about Thomas Partey. I feel like we need to see more from him. We know he has had those injuries and all of that, but we need to see a lot more of him, more consistency. I think one of his best game was the game against United at Old Trafford, the 1-0 victory. I think so.
Yeah.
One of the best game in an Arsenal. So I feel like it needs to come in and replicate a performance like that in against United on Thursday. So for the midfield to Thomas Partey and Sambi Lokonga, and for the other three, I would want to see Martin Odegaard keep his place in that team because I feel like he has not been playing at a very top level this season, but he impressed in the last game, and I want to see him give more for the team. And obviously, the Alien boys would be on both wings. Emil Smith-Rowe on the left and Bukayo Saka on the right. Because for me, I'm excited about it.
Is Saka fit? Is he fit? He was injured the other day, wasn't he?
If he's fit, because I think according to the news that I had, they said he needs to run a scan for him. So, but I don't know if it's fit here. But if it's fit, definitely I want to see Bukayo Saka on the right side of the Arsenal front three. Because I feel like it's going to cause the United defense a lot of problems. And if Captain Maguire is back, I would be excited to see how well he will be able to. I would be excited to see how well he'll be able to handle the pace of Bukayo Saka, because I feel like the pace of Bukayo Saka and how good Emil Smith-Rowe is when it comes to taking the ball from the midfield and switching from defense to attack. I feel like we're going to cause United a lot of problems in that. I don't think like it's going to be a high-scoring game. We'll get to the prediction though, but I feel like it's going to be an entertaining one. We'll see attack from both sides and all of that. But I think the striking position is one that I feel like a lot of Ghana fans will not agree on, because currently the captain Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has been having a run of not so good game. But I feel like a game against United, personally, I would want to stick with Aubameyang because I still feel
You
like
have to.
it's our best player in that position, and I feel
He's
like
your
in a
captain.
game,
Remember.
in a game against United, we need his experience. I feel like it's vital in that game because it's the Old Trafford is not an easy place to go, even though in the last couple of seasons we have not had a bad result in those games. But I feel like we want to stick with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. But before we go to round up the show, I would want to get the predictions from everybody on the panel. I'll start with you on Monday. What's your prediction for the game?
1-0 Man United.
Okay, and Ade, what's your prediction?
3-1 Man United.
3-1 Man United. Okay, now Papachips, what's your prediction?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I think I would actually go 2-1 actually, United. Because I know United will concede. They'll probably score first at Old Trafford.
Exactly.
And then
You always concede. You always concede. You've always been conceding.
United will come through in the last 10 minutes as usual. That's where Ronaldo steps in to, smash the ball in the back of the net.
Well, I think it's going to be an interesting game, but I would not agree with your result because I don't see us going into that game and scoring a lot of goals. The team is there to prove me wrong. I'll be glad if they can go to Old Trafford and prove me wrong and score a lot of goals. But one thing, I feel like this season we've been a side that is very more difficult to break down compared to previous seasons. So I don't feel like we're to go to United, Old Trafford, and consider a lot of goals. So I want to predict a 1-0 victory to the Arsenal. But before we round up the show, if you're just saying this, the show, just in the clip, and you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please turn on the subscribe button, turn on the notification button. But before we end the show, I would like to go around so that our amazing guest on the panel would tell the audience where they could find them on all the socials. I would go with you first, Uncle Omondi. Where can they find you on all the socials?
Yeah, I just want to say this is a great show. One Touch TV. Fantastic. I advise everyone to subscribe and like because they're doing bits of the show and they're going to blow up because of the football content. The guests you have, fabulous guests who've got a lot of insight into football. And it's great to have this international feel when I come on the show to understand everyone understands football all around. It's one word, it's like one world of football people are playing out here. We all understand it, and it's great to have great dialogue with you guys. Ade, Papachips, my man downstairs, and our guy has got frozen out. I just want to say, credit to you guys. You can find me on the Man United Agenda. That's where I'm based most of the time. And we talk all things football, all things Man United, and we're there all the time. And we're about to get 1,000 subscribers. We actually go to games. We go to all the London games as well and do interviews. And we're trying to grow as a channel. And networking with you guys just fantastic. So I'd like to have you guys come on our show one day as Man United fans and Arsenal fans. But big up. Thank you very much.
Always open, my brother. Always open.
Ade, tell the audience where they can find you on all the socials. We know we know that they could find you on Tornet TV, but just tell them where they could find you, other places, and where they can find you regular.
My socials are very, very bland. So I'm on Twitter. I'm on AdeniGJR. My last name is AdeniGJR. But I'm hoping that people will be able to find me here. I'd like to be here more often. Then also on Tunnel TV. And of course, I just found about the Man United Agenda, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Okay, so come on board, bro.
I'm looking forward to being a guest there. So I'm a Man 100%. United fan from when I was very, very young. My grandparents brainwashed me, so I can't be any other fan but United. So, but thank you. I'm glad to be here. I enjoyed the discourse. I'm glad to have met Omondi, Papachips, yourself, and of course Kunle. I know from a little way back. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Ade. Papa. We know say you be regular on the show. Normally you go on and off, but tell the audience where they can find you.
Listen,
and we hope to see more of you on the channel now.
You can find me right on here on here as well. You can find me also on One Touch TV and Tunnel TV, or you can also find me on Papachips. I'll probably even go to the My United Agenda as well. So because
more than welcome.
So I'm open. You can find me here, Papachips and Tunnel TV and the One Touch TV as well.
Yes, so my people, and big up everybody on the comment section before we end the show. On behalf of the Nigerian Englishman, I want to say thank you for coming on, from tuning in on the show, and for dropping all of your comment. Big up Red United TV, big up Barbados, Mine UFC, and Big up Aiden All and everybody who tuned in on today's show and dropped all of your comments. And I'm a regular on One Touch TV. One Touch TV is my home. You can always find me here. And on behalf of the Nigerian Englishman, I want to say thank you to our fantastic guest on today's show. And this is where we end the show for today. And I hope to see you guys on the panel very soon again on One Touch TV. And we hope that everybody who tuned in today on today's show will be able to tune in on the next episode of the One Touch TV 3 Touches. Bye and stay blessed. Stay safe out there.
You too.